around 5, 6, maybe 7 fields of opportunity where your challenge could lead into, but this will be too much to follow up in 14 weeks, so that's why they need your help to reduce those fields down to, let's say, 3, and that they then can focus on and really continue in the further teamwork on. If you haven't had a chance to read it, no worries. There's a break later, 15 minutes, you can still have a look into it. And there's also some more printouts here if you forgot to take them from downstairs. So no, it's all provided. And we're gonna have 4 presentations coming in a row. And then we have a 15 minutes coffee break, toilet break, or cigarette break, whatever you need that break for. Get fresh air, because it gets probably really hot in here. And then you're going to see the other 4 teams presenting. So we have all 8 presenting after each other, basically, and then from around 3:15 to 5:15 for 2 hours, you're going to have your feedback meeting with your teams, individually spread out all over that building, which is also stated out on different papers here in the building, but your teams know where to go. So just find your teams and go together with them afterwards, and then you can talk more into depth. Nevertheless, feedback is really important, and that's why we also really encourage every one of you here to give also right after the presentations of the student teams feedback. Not only the partners themselves, also other partners that are here who have noticed something, who wanted to share something. Please do so, because I always see it when partners receive also feedback from others that this is very interesting because they haven't maybe thought about this. And then it gets inspiration for something new again. So this will also help you, so also help the others. Sharing is caring. And that's why please also go into that feedback mood if you see anything after the presentation. And now we want to start. Or you want to
no,
start with the first presentation, but before we're going to do that, we're going to have a very short warm-up all together, you know, because we love to have warm-ups to get into the right mood. So please get up, all of you. Try to put your coffee masks. No coffee masks in your hand. Because you also need a little bit of space. And it is the countdown warm-up. Okay, so we basically start with the one arm and then we count 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we go to the other side. Then we take our right leg and then our left leg and then count down. Then the next one 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And then later 6, 5, 4. You know? Well, let's give it a go and try it out, okay? So, alright, let's have one now. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And now we're going to clear the stage for our first presentation team. And please give a hand to the Knauf team. Their coaches are Flavia Bloyd and Carmen Louis-Paul. And the team are going to introduce themselves, so please go ahead.
Welcome everyone, also a warm welcome from our side. We're working together with a company called Knapp who sells building materials, and they are not here today because we actually already gave them our presentation, but we look forward to getting your feedback as well. Our challenge is about figuring out new services for DIY people, do it yourself, and therefore we are team DI.
Why?
What?
Who? When?
Yes, and this is our presentation. We have our names. I'm Olivia.
My name is Mirko.
I'm Philippa.
My name is Micha.
My name is Vincent.
Yes. And we have done plenty of research. First, we went into the field and went to a lot of different hardware stores where we tried to really immerse with people who does these DIY projects, which meant that we went 2 and 2 to ask, okay, I'm gonna build a wall. Which material do I need? Where do I find help? Do you have any recommendations? Because we have no clue about how to do this. And it gave us a lot of different input. And after that, we went back into the field and did 20, 30 interviews with people with low skills, high skills, small projects, big projects, like a huge variation of fields. Also artists, to get inspiration from people more in the creative topic. And from this, we have made 6 different fields of opportunities that we would now like to present to you. And we will present them by one quote that we met in the field. So please welcome.
Hello, I have a big building project ahead of me and I don't know where to start.
So we found out that actually a lot of DIYers have had role models in their close friends and family circles to teach them how to do certain projects. And of course there's a lot of people who don't have these role models when they're growing up. So we were wondering, what if we could somehow substitute these role models? Our idea and our prototype is to have a digital voice assistant called Knaufi.
Hey Knaufi, how many actually parts of a drywall do I need for this whole project?
Hey you need 2 pieces of drywall.
Thank you very much. That was number 1. 2, please.
Hello. I just think that apartments without DIY, they just don't have a soul. It just feels so replaceable.
We found out that many people who DIY do it to customize their own spaces, their flats, their apartments, to really make them their own, to have a sense of a feeling of home. And we were wondering, what if we can help people to envision and plan projects, DIY projects? And we came up with an idea of having an augmented reality solution where you can already see how a project looks like when you look through it.
Ah, okay, cool. So the camera's on. I can see my new flat now, and there's a wall right through this building. Looks awesome. I can put all my pictures on there. Cool, I like that. Cool.
Thank you very much. Third field of opportunity, please.
Hello, I actually don't care what my wall is made of. I like to put nice pictures on it, and have a nice wallpaper.
So actually DIY projects you always think are super creative, but we found out that actually putting up a wall is not seen as a creative process. It's not a DIY project to self-fulfill, but it's rather to get the job done. You just want to put up nice wallpaper, you want to put up a nice picture frame. So we thought, what if we could make putting up a wall easy and fun?
It's super easy, it's like Lego. You can put the cubes above each other and then you have a wall and you can put on your paintings.
Thank you very much. Next one, please.
Okay, cool. So I learn new skills and techniques by just trying them out. So I just Google everything and use YouTube. And therefore, new materials, they kind of enable me to start new and better projects.
Exactly. If you are a DIY person, if you need a new technique to learn, you maybe Google it, watch a YouTube video, but what you really do is you learn through experience. So you just get out there, you try how to do it. So we were wondering, what if we could create the best learning experience possible? And we came up with a prototype where we have talking tools.
Okay, cool. So I plug it in first, and now I want to drill a hole in our wall. Where should I put it?
Higher, higher.
And now, what happens now?
Drill.
Okay. Okay, cool. Did I hit something?
No.
Thank you very much. Number 5, please.
I love to get inspired on Instagram and Facebook for all my new DIY projects. And of course, when I finish my project, I take a picture and post it on social media, of course.
Many people love to talk about their DIY projects. It's what they do. They share it with their followers on social media, but also with their friends if they invite them over for a dinner or something. So we wanted to create a
DIY top-up party, so where I can share my new project with all my friends.
Thank you very much. Next one, please.
Hey, I recently built this speaker all by myself, and I made many mistakes along the way, but still the process was so much fun.
If you think about doing a DIY project, it's not always just about the final result, but it's how you get there. So we were wondering, what if we could create more focus on the moments of success during the project? And so we came up with a prototype where we take big projects and put them down into more manageable, smaller parts.
Yeah, this is really great. So I can learn something on the way, but also have my expectation management handled.
Exactly. There you go. That was all the 6. Since we've already had our meetings with our project partners, we just wanted to say what we experienced very quickly, so you can all kind of have an idea of how it was to spend 2 or 3 hours on these topics. We tried to bubble down all the 6 fields of opportunities into 3, and what happened was that we kind of put 5 into 3. We merged 2 times 2 projects or fields of opportunity into 2. And unpacking that situation today, we felt that maybe you guys can be more brave and just say, we want these 3 fields of opportunity rather than combining them, just as a tip. Is there anything to add? Besides that, yeah, thank you very much. And
We're happy for your feedback.
very much.
But also one thing, the solution that we came up with, they just stand for the fields actually, so there can be a multitude of solutions. So yeah, feel free to imagine also other ones.
I have a question. You said you were asking people like who did like some DIY works by themselves. How about the people who doesn't do it? Like, why did you find out why they're not working themselves on these kind of projects?
It often has to do with, for example, not having a role model, not having someone making them envision projects, so they don't feel empowered to even start it. And that's where the inspiration from the role model field came. And also advancing skills. If people have no skills, they don't really feel encouraged to start projects.
The company who's supporting you, did they focus on like one customer groups? Like, they say, okay, go for advanced people or go for people who doesn't do anything yet?
No, we presented them with some different scales yesterday, and they said that they were really interested in creativity, smaller projects, and people without any skills. Because usually it's always big projects, a lot of skills. So yeah, they want to kind of try to turn around.
Okay. So I think for example, I think it was a role model with a virtual assistant. And advanced skills with the talking tools, for example, this could be combined perfectly.
That's what we agreed to as well. Yeah.
What I loved about the talking tool is that my son, a 3-year-old, now has a tip toy where he's tipping on pictures and then this pencil is saying what this picture is all about. So I think that you're not very far from that. It's already out there, you just need to combine it. And by the way, I loved your presentation, really focused, and I hope that you're brave enough to now use these 3 fields of opportunities and narrow in and zoom in on the things that you find really opportune in a way to pursue.
Thank you very much. We actually came to that idea from Bob the Builder. So
I really liked the presentation as well. I have to second that. And I was wondering with the role models, I think that really helps to define like your trajectory in terms of how DIY you are. But you said substitute. I noticed a lot of digital solutions, but what if you could introduce more people, more interaction into your stuff there? Thank you.
So while the second team is setting up, second team is setting up the stage, we're gonna introduce the IKEA challenge to you.
There's a DIY button.
It's the IKEA challenge where they wanted to dive deeper into the question, what does home mean in the future to us? So how will home maybe change? And their coaches who can't be here today, unfortunately, are Johannes Marx and Fabian Beke. And now please hit the stage for the IKEA team.
Welcome to our presentation. First of all, I would like to invite you to close your eyes. So please close your eyes. What image comes up when you think of home? What do you feel?
It's warm.
Maybe there's a secret habit connected to home for you. Okay, thank you. You can open your eyes again. So this is exactly what we are tackling with our challenge. We want to find out what the emotional experience of home is all about for people. So we asked ourselves, how can we make the intangible feeling of home tangible? Our project partner is the IKEA Stiftung and IKEA, and this is our team. Mira, Shada, Simon, Jan, who can't be here today unfortunately, and me, Jenny. And now let's see who we met during research.
Hello, I'm 23 years old and I just moved away from my parents. Actually, you know, I live in a shared flat and my room is the only place that I feel comfortable. And the rest of the flat, no, it's not home. Because I don't feel accepted and recognized as an individual.
What if we could find ways for her to make this feeling she has in her room accessible in the whole flat?
2 months ago, I built a shelf by myself. And now every time I see it, it feels really, really good. It makes my flat much more mine and it's so nice. Now I had the idea of building a desk, but somehow it's more complicated and I don't know really how to do this.
So, what if there would be more time, more resources, and also more knowledge to create furniture and build things yourself?
Hi, I'm 25 years old and I just got married and I just got a kid. So, you know, my life is changing and my home, it doesn't change. I cannot afford moving out. What can I do now?
Yeah, it would be amazing if our homes would just adapt to our ever-changing needs, wouldn't it?
When I come home, I want to share what I experienced during the day and how I feel. But sometimes my flatmates, I barely see them.
Yeah, there's definitely a lack of shared experiences. So what if we could find ways, to facilitate these shared experiences?
For me, home is not inside these walls. For me, home is outside, where I live my rituals, where I practice my rituals. For example, whenever I go to a new city, I go to that design museum to feel at home.
Yeah, the question is, how can we take our rituals with us? So what if there is a way that we can always carry our rituals and make them accessible anywhere and anytime?
So as you see, home can be more than just the physical space. It goes beyond the four walls. And now I want to invite you to think back of what you thought when I asked you to close your eyes, and maybe you saw yourself reflected in one of these people. But of course, there's much more to this whole topic of the feeling of home. But we discovered these 5 fields of opportunities: acceptance, self-efficacy, relationships, adaptable home, and rituals. And now our next step is like finding out what we want to focus on and deep dive in. So while we are taking care of this, always ask yourselves, wohnst du noch oder lebst du schon? Feedback, questions?
Our project partner is also not here. We already presented to them as well. But we would love to hear what you think, whether you translate.
You should be there, right?
Yeah, Peter is via Skype, John.
Yeah, he's seeing us.
Any feedback?
Also comment anything that you can recognize yourself.
Not coming from Berlin, I can definitely recognize the ritual thing, but it's very important to find rhythms in your everyday life quite quickly. So that I think is a super interesting topic.
I really loved the presentation, and I have a question. If since you have been presenting these user stories, if you also found stories about, I would say, people who are older. So you had this mother becoming a mother. What if about elderly persons that might have to move out of their home into then also a new concept of shared flat?
Good question. For our project partner, actually, it was very important that we focus on the young people. So that is very important, especially like people minimum 16 years old and upwards till maybe 30, 35. So that's why it was more that focus. Yes, definitely.
I found this aspect of life changes and our adaptation to it, our home has to adapt to it also. It would be interesting to me how this could be achieved sustainable, because what comes to my mind, I could always buy something new, but then what to do with the stuff I already have.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I think the idea of our home would adapt to our ever-changing needs. I think IKEA is pretty close to that already. As a loyal IKEA customer, I actually had the same flat in England and in the States. Since it was pretty much, when you walk into my place, it was a IKEA showroom. So now to integrate my wife and kid into it, we found this challenging as well. So that would be definitely a money maker there.
Yeah, we might come back to you later. Sonja?
I would also be interested in this ecological factor, because somehow this is also combined with health, you know. The ecological stuff around you makes you healthy, or what do you do with the stuff that you don't eat anymore. So this is something that I can also see with many young people, that they care a lot about that.
I would like to second this thought of actually people who are moving a lot, always buying the same things, or trying to feel at home pretty quickly. So I was living the same way actually for the past 7 years, so always buying the same furniture over and over again to actually feel at home as soon as possible. So,
yeah.
I would think of a rentable model. So I was also a customer of IKEA when I was young, and I had a lot of these tables and all these things you can buy there. it would be nice to give these things back. I want to hold this for my lifetime. But,
Yeah.
Even if to change the color of the table, this would be nice.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I think thank you for the presentation. Great also to imagine what you feel about it. So I liked it a lot. I think one thing which I think you need to add to is functionality. A home has always different functionalities. Sleeping room, bedroom, or a kitchen. Particularly the kitchen, for example, is something which plays a role for me. I like to cook, but also in terms of the environment you have there, which also needs to be different to maybe other rooms. So I think functionality would be of different rooms should be potentially added to the needs, because that I think is a big differentiator.
Yes.
Great job, great presentation. I mean, we are always quite close with Knauf and IKEA, so I know your progress. But last time we talked about Generation Z, and I think I would be super interested in finding out how the perception of home changes from when you live with your parents to when you have your own first flat. And if you're really tackling young people, then I think that would be an interesting concept of how you can maybe take some of your parents' feeling into your own first apartment or flat share.
If you have more feedback, please come back to us later.
Oh, hey, Elias.
Hi, Jerry. How are you doing?
Oh, hey, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm just really exhausted. Last week we had 3 birthdays in a row.
Oh.
Yeah, and you cannot imagine, for every birthday we are using the same recipe for the cake. I mean, it's a family tradition, and I wonder what will happen to this recipe in the future, and if there might be a future for other recipes in my family. So, yeah. How about you?
Jerry, I'm totally with you. So sometimes I'm kind of cooking for kids, coming late at home. It's not that much time. So sometimes we have the gnocchis weeks. Then it's
I know
the
that.
whole week gnocchis or lasagna, whole month lasagna. The kids they also like it, but I can tell I'm looking for some inspiration, and I can tell you, Cherry, there is a team called The Nest who are working on that challenge.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And they try to investigate the future of recipes.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I'm really curious.
So
How can I learn more?
welcome here on stage, Carola, Tanver, Virginia, Marie, Ina. Welcome.
Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to The Nest. So we're here to take you into the future of recipes, specially curated by Ina, Caroli, Virginia, Marie and Tan. We're here to represent the Nestle team. Here in this restaurant of ours, you will find that we follow 4 principles very, very closely. 1 of sustainability, 2 health, 3 transparency, and 4 responsibility. On a side note though, all our dishes may contain minor traces of, well, user needs. So we start off with the appetizer.
Oh, that looks so nice. I should take a picture for my Instagram profile. And you look so nice as well. What do you eat to keep this muscle?
I follow a strong, strict diet for my muscles. It's 600 grams of proteins, 20 grams of fat, and 30 grams of carbs.
Oh, really?
Yes, I mostly eat steak.
Oh, that's a lot.
Eggs, yeah.
Imagine, in a digitalized world, where social media has led to an information overload, what if we could share validated advice that help people to live a more body-centeredness life?
Okay, so one of the solutions here is actually having a second stomach. So this is a personalized database where a user can get access to recipes that help them achieve their goals. And they also are told if they are consuming any ingredients that might possibly harm them. So moving on to the next course.
I don't like eating alone. I really miss my family, eating with them now that they are all over the world. Eating together is the most beautiful ritual people could have. Food is the mediator of love.
In a world of parallel societies, according to different cultures, according to demography, or also according to gaps in social classes, what if we could create more magic moments of bringing people together through the process of eating and sharing our food together?
Oops, we've not found something for you yet.
You know, I'm so caught up with cooking. I have to cook for my children every day. I have to pick recipes every day, go food shopping, and prepare the meal. This is so time-consuming.
And it still has to be healthy, right? I totally agree. It's so hard to cook a wholesome meal for all our children.
In a future kitchen of connected appliance, what if home-cooked food does not require us to cook anymore?
So one of the solutions that we found here was that of a homemade box. So this is a fresh meal that's prepared by a community of homemakers, which they can then deliver to your home or your office. So effectively, you could get a healthy, wholesome, fresh meal without having to actually spend time cooking it. Cool. So we move on to the next course.
Oh, I just finished the 6th meeting of the day, and the next one is in 10 minutes, but I should eat something, but eating is so boring, and I hate eating. I just want to be fed, and yeah, that's it.
What if we could redefine the relation toward food and make eating an enjoyable experience again?
Hey Virgie, so just like you, we are still working on the solution.
Everyone can cook. If someone tells me they cannot cook, it's like telling me they cannot sleep. Food should be experienced, smelled, touched, lived.
When I cook for myself, I get into a Zen mind.
You know that actually from 200 decisions that we do around food every day, only 5% are conscious.
Hey guys, imagine in an environment where everything around us is being packaged for convenience. What if we could make more people challenge their habits and also start experiencing with food?
So something that we've been working upon is the idea of a living recipe. So our usual habit when we go out shopping is to shop for ingredients. So if we had to make a dish, we would shop for a sauce, a grain, some toppings, and then put this all together. Now, what if we actually created recipes with flavors and textures instead? So imagine a recipe where we combine sweet sour with a slightly crunchy ingredient and then added some spice to this. So one, it helps us connect with our food and create new experiences. It also helps us recognize the emotions that we are feeling and then create recipes around that. So overall, it's a much deeper connection with food, which helps us experiment and come up with new formulations.
So that was our menu of opportunities, and in the next season we would like to go into cook creation with our partners in the following fields: learn, share and educate, experience and socialize, convenience, cook, eat, repeat, and experiment and create. Thank you for being our guests today.
Yes, Jens.
Right, I really can empathize with the second persona, moving abroad and then not having close friends or family to eat with you. And we are moving in a world where a lot of us are moving abroad, working in the different countries, so I can empathize with that. I also like the last what if that you have. What if we can create a habit, create a way that people can change their habit, eating habit. For me, I'm still struggling with that. Despite moving 1.5 years away from home, I'm still not adapting to the Western food. So it's a very nice what if, right? How can you get me to get rid of my old habits, try to experiment and find a food that really adapts to me. So I like the new what if statements that you have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stefan.
Yeah, I just got reminded when seeing your presentation on the IKEA challenge. And I noticed that in both cases, rituals are very important. And I think on this game there could be, I don't know yet what it is, but maybe working on the ritual that people have for getting their food or...
Sure. Yes. Okay.
I also was reminded of the IKEA challenge because home and cooking is for me very deeply connected, because if I travel a lot, then coming home means finally I have my spices and my fridge, and you know, so it's actually very for me personally.
I also find myself in one of the personas, the one who doesn't like eating alone. Actually, because of eating alone, I don't cook at home anymore at all. And what I really like is that the solutions that we are coming up is around the services, not only the product, because Nestle is really creating the products, but it's also very important to think around the products, the services, and this living recipe or the other services that you are thinking. I think it's really good. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm with the homemade part, where you always have to find, you know, I cook in our family from our every kid, and then you always think what to cook next and what to do, and then you're at home, it's late after work, and then you Google the recipe and you really want to do it, and it's always stupid spices there. And then I have to go out and I have to buy like a pound of it, and all I need is like a tablespoon. So I think it would be really good to have this in your village, in your city, in your town. You can go somewhere and you can just get a little bit of that spice you should eat. To be more open to also cook other dishes overall. You don't have to buy the whole bag every time.
Yeah.
Relating to your experiment with creativity field of opportunity, maybe you can take into account that wherever you live, you have probably a different setting in the kitchen that would allow you only to cook into a certain direction. And maybe this influences what you actually cook.
Yes, for sure.
I think also there's a big market on, I think it's experience and socialize. For example, you travel and you feel like, okay, I don't want to go to restaurants all the time. I would like to have the local experience, and you feel like I want to find someone who's like a home chef, who cooks at home. You can just join them, maybe cooking, maybe just eating, and then socialize. But then also like on this travel view, like thing. Because for me, like if I travel and I go to Malaysia, visiting Jens, and then I feel like, okay, I don't want to just eat here in restaurants and from the experience from restaurants. So I think this is the market where like the focus should be on too.
That's a good idea.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Claudia Tal, and together with my colleague David Schade, I'm very happy to coach Team Organism. We especially want to welcome you, our project partner, which is Rolls-Royce. Thank you for being here. So everybody imagine you're these guys. We're building some of the largest jumbo jet engines in the world. You have a very complicated process of building it. Almost everything is handmade. You have a very delicate line of production and supply chain. And just wait for Brexit. And you have very highly trained, skilled people. So everything has to come together. And this is a big task. So our challenge, and the challenge for the team, was how to build a possibly digital shift planning that connects like the needs of the business, efficiency, and the needs of the people, meaning as flexible working situation as they can. Please welcome on stage the organism, which is Elena, Stephanie, Mara, Luca, and Nicolas.
Since the beginning of time, people have tried to move faster and faster. They started by inventing the wheel, then they moved to bicycles, then they moved to cars. Now they have extra wide body planes with engines made by Rolls-Royce. But where do they go in the future? In order to take the next step and go to the next level, they need a new way to organize work. So how could we do that? It's simple. We play a game. This is Engine Pursuit at Rolls-Royce, and I welcome you all to step with me into this game, into the first field of working time.
Hello and welcome at Rolls-Royce Deutschland. I'm the business guy. We have more and more orders and the workload is increasing. We really need to find an intelligent answer on how to organize work in the future.
Hey, I'm a mechanic in Danewitz. And you know, sometimes I come to work on Saturdays and there's just no work for me to do. That's nonsense. I would rather like to spend my time with my family.
So how should work look for you?
Well, if these are my skills, and I can decide which task to do according to my skills, put this one here, this one here. So, what if work was organized in an independent and flexible manner?
You just said that not a lot of work gets done on Saturdays. So maybe we need to have a look at workflows.
Hello, I'm an assistant team leader. This means I'm in charge of a shift group. And I can tell you there is nothing worse than having a gap in the workflow. I have to tell my people there's no work today. You have to go home, or I have to somehow squeeze them in other working units.
Yeah, you're right. And I have to report to business why we don't meet our goals. By the way, I'm the team leader. So, what if there was always work to do?
Oh, just-in-time production? That sounds like a dream to me. But what I need for that is data in order to create my reports. I really need transparency and control of the process.
That starts you to move into the next field on our board game, transparency and access to information.
Yeah, I work with so many systems. I don't have any overview. I have like at least 200 Excel sheets. But you know, my Excel sheets are actually the most precise ones in the company.
Oh, I have thousands of Excel sheets. And of course, they are the most important and most precise ones.
I think my ones are the most precise. But okay.
Anyway, what I need is instant information. I need to know which worker works currently in which station. Talking about transparency, I never know what's happening to my improvement suggestions.
Oh, what if all relevant information would be available and transparent in one system?
And what if the other shift group works as hard as we do?
Maybe we should have a look at your communication. What about integrative dialogue?
So we do have communication meetings, but I have to admit it's more like a lecture, more frontal. I would like to have more discussion going on and get some feedback, but it's not like this. And actually, like when the big production boss gives you new numbers, it's also more like one-way communication. So, what if everyone was motivated to speak their own opinion and was heard?
We're getting very close to the end of our game. Let's step into the next field. I wonder how people at Rolls-Royce feel about their roles.
I know what I want and who I want to be. I want to be a leader. I want to be a strategic thinker. I don't want to be a firefighter or a short-time problem solver.
I want to be a captain, like a football captain of my team, like both a buddy, but also a leader, and always having an open ear to them. But I need time for this. This can't be done with 5 minutes a week.
Honestly, I never really considered to become a senior mechanic. Work is just work and it needs to be done.
So what if everyone had the space to create, everyone had the space and was motivated to create a role and take on this role?
Rolls? Rolls? Rolls at Rolls Royce? Rolls? Pick a roll? I think they're all pretty motivated at work. I think we successfully completed the first round of Engine Pursuit. And if you're interested to see what happens in the next round, welcome back in January.
Any questions?
Maybe just some feedback. We'll have more discussion later. First, I saw the business leader are a bit more inspired. I think great presentation. I think a great perception of some of the issues and underlying issues with the whole concept of where we go to, and what are issues behind it. There's one question, and we will look at it later on, is to say what are the immediate things we can focus on when we tackle that project. And so how do we always have how do we not boil the ocean, but look like, okay, what can be done as a quick win, for example. Okay.
Thank you very much for this presentation. I think we covered so many different fields to dig in, and everything has to do somehow with the psychology as well and behavior of people. So it will be kind of tricky to find, let's say, solutions for these fields. But is there any of these 6 that is most interesting to you as a team? What do you think?
Everything is interesting.
I think like the most obvious is like this working time and how the workers can choose their working slots, how this is organized. But I think we are also interested in this communication between workers, between divisions.
I think one of the issues, no matter how big the company is always going to be, does the mechanic know what the business guy has in his Excel sheets? So even if you only have 10 or 20 or 30 minutes in the day or in the week and you want to talk about commitment and working time, some people may not know what the KPIs actually mean. And if they don't know what the KPIs mean, you can tell them to work harder, quicker, faster on a different day. But it doesn't mean anything to them. So it might be good to have it in one system, but it might be also good to be actually understandable. And also not able to cheat.
I understand that work in Rolls-Royce is like a flowing process, so it's really hard to distinguish a group or a project that needs to be done. But I wonder if it would be possible to kind of find groups or find a visualization of the work that could be coupled. And then I could go as a worker through all those projects, or I call it groups of work, and could find out if I fit into this group, and if there's no work needed, then I could maybe go to another group. And so the need of work could be also maybe visualized. I don't know whether this perception could be changed.
But right now there are very fixed groups of people working together in shifts, but it's also one challenge. Maybe it's possible to think beyond these shift groups, so that workers can more independently choose.
All right, it has been our first 4 challenges. 4 are to come after our short break. We have a 15-minute break now. There is cake outside, there is coffee, tea, and everything else, and then we meet back here in 15 minutes.